Guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Goodness John, and today I'm going to be showing us how to make a pencil skirt with lining. So I already have a video where I drafted that, so I will link that video to the description if you're interested in learning how to make how to draft a pencil skirt. I hope this video is helpful and easy to follow. So let's get into the video. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and turn on the notification bell so you're notified whenever I post a new video. So let's get into the video. So I already cut out the skirt using the pattern. So I will link the video on how to cut a straight skirt, uh, pencil skirt. Okay, so I'll link the video. I've cut out the lining and I cut out the back. So the lining I cut out is 1 inch shorter in length, 1 inch shorter, so that when it pulls it up, so lining is not showing when you couple your skirts together. You can make yours 2 inches shorter, but I just made mine 1 inch shorter because I didn't want the skirt. I wanted more length, so you can make at, but it shouldn't be less than 1 inch shorter. And next, I'm going to do the I'm going to cut out facing for the lining at the waist part, just so it gives it more body. Okay, so I'll be placing the fabric I'll be using on the skirt and place on the lining as well. I'm just trying to cut out the pattern of the 3 inches, the facing for the lining. So I'll just cut that out. So I'll cut out the one for the back as well. Okay, I've cut out both the front and the back. So the next thing I'm going to do is to take iron and iron this down, like fold it the way I'm folding it up, and then I'll go and sew it on the lining. So I'll just place it on the lining and sew it down all the way. So I've gone and I've sewn it. So this is what it's supposed to look like. The next thing I'm going to do is measure 1.5 inch, which is my zip allowance at the back. So this is my back. I'll measure it all the way to the bottom. And then I'll measure my zip length. My zip length stops 1 inch below the hip, which is 9 inches. And then my knee length starts at 22. So I'll just mark those 2 points, 9 and 22, on the lining and on the main fabric. So at my zip length, I'll sew running stitch, that's the biggest stitch, and at the slit length, at the slit also running stitch, but in between is just where I'll sew the normal stitch, just so I can open it up when I'm done coupling. So I'll sew it down and then go and iron it open. So I've gone and sewn it, so this is what it should look like for the cloth and for the line. Basically, whatever you do for the main fabric, you have to do for the lining as well. So you're basically sewing two skirts and then joining them together. So I'll go and iron this open and then iron the back. So you just need to iron everything you couple, you iron, just so you have neat finishing. So the next thing I'll do is mark my measurements on the skirt. So my waist measurement, my hip measurement, my knee measurement, and the bottom. So my knee measurement is -2 the hip, and the bottom is -2 the knee. So I do this just so I have like neat straight curve, equal curve on the left and on the right. So I'll do this, mark it, sew it, sew it on with running stitch after I've marked the line, and then iron it open, and then I'll lose it. So basically what I'm just trying to do is to get that line, so it prevents me from marking both sides, like placing the front on the cloth and marking the left side and marking the right side. So I just have one core line. So whatever I have on the front, what I have on the back. So to prevent all that bulging that you have at the hip, when you're marking your lines, you have to make sure there's no sharp curves or all of those things. You have to make sure that it looks smooth. So you have to look at the person's shape first, and also nobody's body has those sharp curves. So you have to be careful that you have like nice smooth curves. So I'm joining the knee to the bottom with a straight line, and then I'm joining the knee to 2 inches below the hip with a straight line, and then I'm joining this with the hip curve line. I do 2 inches below the hip just so I have like a straight line at that hip point, like not straight, like just a guideline I use so that I have a nice smooth hip curve. Okay, so I'll go and sew this. I'll do the same thing for the lining as well. I'll go and sew it with the running stitch. That's the biggest stitch. Once I sew it, I'll iron it. Iron it like folding into the fabric. Yeah. So this is just so I have the line that I would use to sew. So I'll just iron it. I'll just iron it down. Then I'll open it up. So now I'm loosening the thread, and basically what this does is give you that line you used to sew. So now I'm going to place it on my back fabric carefully and then pin it down. So my guideline for this is the midpoint of the skirt. It should be on the midpoint of the back. So you have to be careful so that it doesn't, it's like it should be where it should be, otherwise it may just tilt. And don't forget the back hip, sorry, butt curve we have on the fabric. Make sure you don't flatten that. So just give that a little bump. Yeah, I forgot to mention, because of that back hip, the hip curve, sorry, the butt curve, I subtracted 1 inch from my hip measurement. My hip measurement was 39, so I subtracted 1 to 38, and before I divided by 4. So basically I subtracted quarter inch from the half, like quarter measurement. I don't know if that makes sense. And we subtract 1 from the hip measurement just to make allowance for the curve. And then after I couple this together, I will go and sew on that line, on this line that it made. So I'll go and sew it down, okay. After I sew it down, I will iron it open and iron it on the other side. You shouldn't have double lines. Part of my double lines, I was trying to do hip curve as well, so just pardon my double lines, but you shouldn't have double lines. If you have double lines because you realize your hip curve wasn't correct, make sure you loosen it and then sew it, and then, sorry, iron it. If not, it wouldn't sit properly. So I've done the for the front and the back. Now I have 2 skirts. So to join this together, I'll join this together. So I'm going to sew the zip on the main fabric first, and then after sewing the zip, I'll open the slits for the main fabric and for the lining. So I'm joining it from the bottom. I'll take the main fabric, I'll take the lining and join it together. Okay, so I've joined it together to couple. Now I've slowed this part down just so we understand what I'm doing. I'll take where my double, like where my 22 inches on the lining and 22 inches on this. So I locked it at that point. So I will place it together just so I know where it should be. Don't forget it was 1 inch shorter. So if you don't place this together, you may you may not get it right. So just place it together so that they're where, or it's where it should be, and then I'll sew on that line. See, that's my 1 inch fabric pulling. So the lining is pulling it up, pulling the main fabric up. So after I do that on this side, I'll do that on the other side as well. So I forgot to mention the 1 inch, 1.5 inch, you lock at the zip line, that's the 9 inches, and lock at the 22 inches as well. So it's where I locked, like double lock it, double stitch. It's where I locked that I'm placing together for the lining and for the fabric, and then I'll sew it together. Okay, so I sew that, and then I'll turn it to the right side of the clothes and iron the slits I've just joined. So this is what the slits would look like after you join it from the inside. Okay, so now it's time to couple the waist. If you want to see a video of how I sew the zip, I will link that to the description box as well. So just in case you're a newbie and you don't know how to sew open zip, I'll link that to the description. So I'll join this by on the waist lining and the main fabric, and then I will sew one part down because I'm turning from the zip allowance. That's where I'm turning from. I'll just sew one part down. The other side I'll just sew the top. So check my video if you want to see how I did that. And then I'll turn it to the right side and iron it. So I've ironed it. There's the sleeves everywhere. I've ironed everything. Everything's looking neat. Okay, this is where I left open. This is where I turned the rest of the fabric. I hope this video was helpful and easy to follow. Please like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you're notified whenever I post a new video. Thank you for watching. If you're interested in seeing how I make hip and butt pad and how I couple it to the skirt, I'll link those to the description box. Bye.